Sometimes you leave it to karma, sometimes you are the karma, by user Jupiter Skyfalls. When I worked as a server in fine dining we had to wear a vest, bistro apron, and tie even women, which I am one. Sometimes after a really busy shift or just a long double I'd need to stop by the grocery store or somewhere, but I was too tired to go home and change and I just kept my uniform on while I made my stops. At Walmart, CVS, Publix, Kroger, Target, Dollar Tree, like really. Aldi, Costco, and once in the lobby of a Little Caesars, I was constantly mistaken for an employee or manager. I have never once seen an employee or even GM of those stores in a vest and tie, let alone an apron. People would come up to me all the time thinking I worked for the store we were in. I was amused at first, but I honestly got sick of it quickly. I hate being rude though, so if people came up and asked me where something was and I knew the answer I'd tell them or say sorry I don't work here. But so many times people would approach me, after having busted tail at work, just tired and wanting to grab what I needed for a meal and go home, with an unbelievable amount of entitlement, audacity, and rudeness. I stopped trying to argue with these people and started sending them to the opposite end of the store from what they wanted, or promising to go check in the back and leave them standing there. Telling them that item was out of stock or had been recalled, or any other random acts of mischief I concocted for my amusement. Once a woman got a manager and came hunting through the store to track me down, demanding angrily that I be fired. Watching the manager tell her I wasn't an employee was amazing. The emotional roller coaster that rode over her face was hilarious. He asked her why she thought I was and she said I told her the item was reserved, but another employee told her that wasn't a thing. I shrugged and said, "Welp, you never asked if I worked here. Sorry," and dipped. If you were nice and not a douche McNugget I'd help you if I could. But talking down/being verbally abusive to people just doing their jobs is ridiculous, and I wish more people spoke up when they see it. Add on, for any wondering why I didn't just take my vest and/or apron off, I'm well endowed and the shirts that fit me best in the arms and shoulders, couldn't have sleeves too long, were pretty tight across the chest. My vest and tie hid the fact that I had a good bit of my bra and cleavage visible otherwise. Changing in the car wasn't something I wanted to do and going home first meant double the time. I wouldn't care nowadays, but I was young and shy then. Twice in one day, and I think I was confused for an employee, by user Israbel. I was at a craft fair yesterday, browsing around in one of the stalls when someone came up and asked me how much something was. I knew, so I answered but the guy who actually works here is out back, and they realized. Later when I was buying something for myself, the person ringing me up, who had not seen this, said, "And there's an employee discount so that'll come out to yada yada," and chatted with me like they thought I worked at another stall. I didn't really want to correct their mistake just to pay more, so I just went, "Yeah haha, it was great today thanks," and scurried off. Can you read? By user familiar complex 697. So, I work at Walmart, and sometimes I run errands after work. Sometimes I forget to take off my vest or just decide to screw it and leave it on since all of my stuff is in the pockets. Anyways, even when I'm at somewhere obviously not Walmart, like the post office, the laundromat, hell, even McDonald's, people think I work there? Like, can you not see the Walmart spark on the vest? The word Walmart written on my name tag? And then they get rude about it. No, I'm not going to load your laundry, you lazy lard. I'm not a damn ketchup dispenser. Don't hand your kid's diaper to me. All things that have happened in the last 2 months LMAO. I don't work here, but sure I'll help you find the bananas, by user any_brick2872. A few weeks ago, I was at the supermarket wearing a red polo shirt totally by accident. Turns out, that's exactly what the employees wear. As I'm browsing the cereal aisle, a lady storms up to me and says, "Excuse me, young man, where are the bananas?" I open my mouth to say, "Oh, I don't work here," but she looks so stressed and urgent that I just point toward the produce section and say, "Aisle 5, near the apples." She thanks me and hurries off. 5 minutes later, another guy asks where the almond milk is. I shrug and say, "Probably near the regular milk." He nods like I'm a genius. By the time I leave, I've helped 4 people. One even asked about discounts. I never told anyone I wasn't an employee. I just went along with it. Honestly, I kind of crushed it. Thinking of putting grocery guidance specialist on my resume now. Renaissance Fair and Pets, by user Aggressive District 82. Every year now we visit a little semi-local Renaissance festival. Not one of the huge ones like King Richard's or anything. They allow fur pets to come. You can bring most pets, I called prior to going to be sure I could bring the one I had in mind. Just a $5 fee and my 5-foot-long boa constrictor was in. We dressed for the occasion, not with a severe amount of effort. I had on a dress and a corset that I saw on probably 3 other people because it was the first option on Amazon. But nonetheless people thought I worked there as an attraction because of my snake. Not that I minded to begin with. People stopped me and asked questions and I knew they would. I was happy to answer, happy to let people see her, and 1 or 2 little kids asked to hold her for pictures. And I knew that prior to bringing her, she was not only a beautiful addition to my costume, but I really do enjoy letting people interact with large reptiles. It destigmatizes them for some people. The issue was one woman who gave me a hard time when I stepped away from a small group of people so that I could take photos with my friends. I explained to everyone that I didn't work there, was going to take photos with my friends since some were leaving, and that I'd still be around if anyone caught me while I was walking. This woman gave me a sneer and said, "We've been waiting in line, you know," and I promptly told her I don't work here. I did not ask anyone to line up. And no one was truly in a line, just a group hanging out talking to me. But now, ma'am, you're certainly not coming anywhere near me. Blew that chance for your kids.